How's it going, everybody? This is Dale from Upstate Bets. I'm here with my partner Reoz, bringing you guys some player props over here on Prize Picks. It is NFL Week 15. We are winding down the NFL season, but that means we have some NFL games going on all throughout the week. We had Thursday night games, we had Saturday games. Reoz is hacking along over there. Don't mind him. We had Saturday games. We are still waiting on Devin Singletary to see if he will hit. Hopefully, we go 2-0. Obviously NBA all throughout the week, and we're on Prize Picks, of course. This is the best spot to do your player props compared to all the other player prop websites. Highly recommend coming over to Prize Picks because right now they are doing the 12 days of Pixmas. They did a bunch of gingerbread cookies, and what they were was essentially just tacos, but instead they were gingerbread cookies all around the board today. I believe they were only up for like 15, 20 minutes at a time, and you had to catch them quick, but they were all over Twitter and stuff. If you were active on there, you were able to find them pretty quick and pretty easy. So they're doing a ton of stuff, and this is just the tip of the iceberg with them. I'd imagine as it gets closer to Christmas, they're going to be essentially just giving away money, doing promotional funds, doing free squares. So highly recommend coming over here, not only just for NFL, but for NBA. We cover that every single day. We do have a Patreon as well, $15 a month. And Rios, tell me about that.
Yeah, if you want more picks from us, the Patreon is the best place to find more picks. We do Monday through Sunday. We cover every single NBA slate. We cover every single slate, showdown slate, main slate, Saturday slate. You name it, it is over on the Patreon. If you want to be more connected with us, the Patreon is also the best place to do that. You can direct message us. You comment on our posts directly. Get in contact with us. If you want to find out more of our plays, more of the players that we are on every single day, the Patreon is the best place to do that. Two for the price of one. It is an amazing value. We've been kind of up and down this last week, but we've been still giving out winners over there. And the best thing about Prize Picks is you 3x, 5x, 10x, 15x, 25x your money. So primarily, you don't have to hit every single night as much as we would love to hit every single night. It's just not always a given. Some players get injured, some players get DMP'd. Unfortunately, that is the way of fantasy sports. But Prize Picks, amazing value. Our Patreon, amazing value. Highly recommend checking it out. It's going to be linked in the description below. And you can also find it at patreon.com/upstate.
Yeah, I've been having a good time over on the Patreon as well. And I think we have some really good picks for that YouTube video as well today. So let's get to the picks, man. I got a guy in rushing yards and receiving yards, but I'll get to my receiving yards player first, and that's going to be Josh Palmer. Really like this spot for him going against the Titans. And this Titans team, they're not the same Titans defense that we, came to know over these last couple of years. We pretty much were like, all right, they're going to pound the ball and they're going to be a good defense, but that's not the case this year. This defense, especially through the air, is absolutely pitiful. They're number one in passing yards per game, giving up 283.7 passing yards per game, and teams are throwing the most on the Tennessee Titans. They're throwing on average 40 times a game, which is the highest in the NFL against these Tennessee Titans. We've seen receivers like the Jags receiving core absolutely smash, have good games. Zay Jones, Evan Ingram to be specific. Christian Kirk didn't have the greatest game, but we've seen players like that. Philadelphia across the board, all the Philly receivers absolutely torch them. T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd had some nice games. Against them a couple weeks ago. We saw Randall Cobb have a nice game. Cortland Sutton, Travis Kelce, Juju Smith-Schuster. It just goes week by week by week. You see these receiving cores absolutely torched this Tennessee secondary, and I think Justin Herbert, the way he distributed the ball last week, is going to absolutely torch the secondary. And I saw Josh Palmer a lot of good things. We've seen a lot of good things out of him, not only these past 5 games, but over his last 10. He's 7 out of his last 10, puts him at 70%. And like I said, in such a good matchup, he's seen 10 plus targets in 4 out of his last 6 games. It's not like he's just a guy that's going out there catching 3 or 4 long balls. He's getting the workload that we would like to see out of him. He's emerging into maybe even like a number 2 in this offense. Whether they think Mike Williams is too injury prone or Keenan Allen's getting older, Palmer's becoming very comfortable with Justin Herbert. He's playing 92% of the snaps per game, and I just think it's such a good matchup. And I think it's a lot better volume than what people are thinking here. 41 is just too low.
Love the line. I love Palmer as well. And with this Chargers offense, it's a pass first offense. They don't really look for Eckler to get 100 yards, get 75 yards on the ground. They are just going to throw it all night long. Dale had a really nice play a week ago with Justin Herbert and his pass attempts, and it was sitting at right around 40, and he absolutely smashed that. So we know he's going to get a ton of targets. Love that line. I'm going to stay here in receiving yards. With a Steelers guy, I know Dale is going to like this pick, and that's Deontay Johnson. His line sitting at 44.5, and the last 3 games, we've really started to see him emerge in this offense. I know this is definitely not the year, the season that he would have expected, dealing with a ton of stuff, dealing with quarterbacks being injured, coming back in. But they're going to roll out Trubisky here. I thought he looked really good when Trubisky came in once Pickett got hit, that big hit where he got concussed. But either or, this is just a Carolina team that you never really know who's going to come out. It's either a really great Carolina team or it's a really bad Carolina team, and I think we're going to get that really bad Carolina team. The secondary has been playing pretty well, but with a low line like this, and we should see close to 10 targets coming Johnson's way, we know he's that big play factor, and I think a lot of teams are starting to kind of realize Pickens might be the number one on this team. He's been getting a ton of looks, and obviously Fryermuth has always established himself, but Johnson is going to be obviously the clear-cut number one. He's been doing it for a couple years now. I know Trubisky, even in the offseason, was getting a ton of reps in with him, and he's going to feel more comfortable. We saw when Trubisky was the guy, he didn't even look at Pickens. He was only looking at Deontay Johnson. So really love this pick.
Yeah, and as he should be the guy getting 8 to 10 targets in this offense. He operates on those underneath routes. I guess the main cause with him is him dropping balls. Sometimes he'll go out there and he'll drop just a key first down, and he'll catch the ball and he'll drop back and he'll try to pick up more yardage than he should instead of taking that 6 to 7 yard gain. He always tries to break away, but when he does break away, he usually breaks away for a good 20-25 yard chunk play. So Deontay Johnson, like you said, with him and Trubisky, they had all like training camp, OTAs. And he had all those first team reps with Deontay Johnson, so this is going to be very comfortable for him. I'm not really nervous about this pick at all. I think it's a really low line and a really really good value here for Deontay Johnson, so I really like that pick. I'm going to go over to the rushing yards. I like a guy for the New York Jets. I'm going to go with Zonovan Knight here. I really like this guy's story. Undrafted, rookie out of NC State, Reoz, I believe. He's been a really good just weapon for them. After Breece Hall went down, we saw that we were definitely really nervous because we saw what we already had out of Michael Carter, and they bring in James Robinson, and now he's not even on the, he's not even suiting up, and they see what they got in Zonovan Knight, and when you see a story like this for an undrafted guy, he just runs so hard. He's playing just to get a deal and be on the team, and I love that story. And it couldn't have a better matchup here against Detroit. We saw him against Buffalo, 71 yards and a touchdown. He got his first NFL touchdown. That was awesome to see. And now here against Detroit, this is such a bad run defense. Like I said, it couldn't get any better for him. They're allowing 140 yards per game on the ground, and he's getting a good amount of carries. We've seen it go up and up and up. He went from 12 to 14 to 17. I think we can easily see 17 to 20, and the reason is they got Zach Wilson this week, and we know they don't trust him throwing the ball. Like when Zach Wilson's out there, we saw early on in the season, this team was built on the defense. They're a defensive squad. Zach Wilson wasn't able to go out there and sling the ball and put up points, and I think they're going to go back to the roots here, pound Zonovan Knight, wherever they give him the ball, however they use him. I do think he's going to get a ton of looks here because they just don't trust Zach Wilson, and if they did, he would still be the starter. So Zonovan Knight is my pick, and I like him over 62.5.
I'm glad you brought that up, Zach Wilson being the quarterback, because we saw with White, they were throwing the ball just so much. It was kind of incredible, but they're going to rely on Knight in a big way here, especially with this Detroit Lions defense being so pitiful. So I really love that line, and I'm going to stay in rushing yards with somebody I went to last week, and he panned out for me, and that is Isaiah Pacheco. I love this matchup. Just like Knight, he has a phenomenal matchup against this Houston team, and I am a little nervous that this game gets out of hand and then they pull all the starters, but we've seen this Houston team fight back, keep games somewhat close, but this Kansas City team is pretty lethal, even without Tyreek Hill. Everybody has stepped up. Travis Kelce, MVS in his moments, Juju Smith-Schuster, Nicole Harmon. I mean, uh, there's a plenty of playmakers out, and obviously with Patrick Mahomes as the quarterback, I think they're going to run up the score pretty early in this. Kind of just hand it off to Pacheco. I think he is clear cut the guy, uh, even with um, even with McKinnon doing his thing in the passing game and scoring 2 touchdowns, Pacheco still hit his line. So it got close towards the end. I don't think it's going to be as close as last week. I think he goes out there, gets 100 yards rushing, gets 20 plus carries, and really shows off why he is the number one guy on this team.
Yeah, and he's another guy that just really emerged out of nowhere, just became, solidified himself in the offense, and really going to two guys in the rushing category that just have the picture perfect matchups right here on the board. So love Pacheco in that spot as well, and that's going to be our four guys. I think the picks here are very safe picks. We don't got any flashy ones here, none of like the main superstars, but I think these picks provide so much value across the board, and they are really good. So you can pair these up for a 4-pick power that would give you 10x. However else you want to do it, two pick powers would be 3x and 3x. Or if you're chasing that 6x, or you're chasing that 25x, which would be 6 players, always drop a comment down below, and we'll get to some players down there. If you want to talk about anyone else on the board, we'll give you our opinion. But the best way to find them, like Reoz said, is definitely the Patreon. So go hop over to the Patreon, check that one out. $15 a month. I think that's the best value you're going to get around here. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.